Picture this: the screech of tires, the sudden jolt of an impact, just complete, immediate chaos. If you've just had a car crash in Pennsylvania, your adrenaline is probably pumping like crazy right now. But once the dust settles, a very urgent reality sets in. You gotta get things sorted out, and fast. And the master key to unlocking your insurance claims, legal resolutions, and basically finding a path forward, it all comes down to one absolutely crucial document.
Welcome to this explainer on how to get a copy of your accident report in Pennsylvania. Now look, I know dealing with red tape and bureaucracy after a traumatic collision is literally the absolute last thing you want to do. But take a deep breath. Today, we're going to act as your calm, authoritative guide through this whole system, breaking down exactly how to navigate this hurdle and secure your document without losing your mind.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, what is an accident report? Number 2, steps to get your report. Number 3, navigating common report challenges. Number 4, using your accident report. And finally, number 5, key takeaways and tips. Let's get right into it. Section 1. What is an accident report? The key to resolving post-crash disputes. So, when you're looking at the official PennDOT driver's accident report form, you quickly realize this isn't just a piece of bureaucratic paperwork. It actually serves as an unbiased, foundational account of the incident. When police investigate a crash, they document the parties involved, they gather witness statements, and they record their initial observations, things like the road conditions or whether a driver was cited. Having all this officially on paper is absolutely crucial, because it prevents those messy he said, she said arguments later on.
And here's the actual legal mandate that entitles you to this document. According to the Pennsylvania Vehicle Code, Title 75, Section 3751, a police department shall furnish a certified copy of the report to any person involved in the accident upon request. However, pay attention to this critical detail. Pennsylvania is not an open record state when it comes to crashes. Because these reports contain a lot of sensitive personal info, only the involved parties, their attorneys, their insurance companies, or specific government agencies are legally allowed to request them. So randos can't just go look up your accident.
Section 2. Steps to get your report. Navigating the Pennsylvania system.
Okay, the crucial very first step is figuring out exactly who investigated your crash. Why? Because Pennsylvania law enforcement is, quite frankly, pretty fragmented. On one hand, you've got the Pennsylvania State Police, or PSP, and they handle crashes on state highways, the turnpike, or in municipalities that just don't have their own local police. On the other hand, local municipal police investigate crashes within their specific city limits or townships. You absolutely must know who showed up to the scene so you know exactly where to send your request. Now, if the state police handled your crash, you certainly can use their online portal. But if you're requesting it by mail, here are your exact steps. First, complete Form SP 70015. Second, you got to get a certified check or a money order for exactly $22, made payable to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And third, mail that whole packet to the PSP Crash Reports unit down in Harrisburg. Now here is a massive pro tip for you. They strictly reject cash and personal checks. Seriously, do not send them or your request will be flat out denied.
Depending on your jurisdiction, you're going to encounter a bit of variance in the fees because, well, the government always needs its cut, right? The state police charge $22, Philadelphia, being a first-class city, charges $25, and there might be a small credit card convenience fee of about $195 tacked onto that. For Pittsburgh and other local departments, state law actually caps the maximum standard fee at $15, and a lot of these local departments streamline things by using third-party sites like crashdocs.org to handle digital downloads. Keep in mind, these administrative fees generally just go toward the state's motor vehicle fund or local municipal general funds.
Section 3. Navigating common report challenges, busting myths, and clearing roadblocks.
So you definitely need to be prepared for a few hurdles here. First off, there's a strict, mandatory 15-day waiting period for processing after the accident. Honestly, don't even go searching on day 3. It just won't be in the system yet. Second, if you're missing your incident number, don't panic. Online portals will often let you search by your last name and the date of the incident instead. Third, if you do happen to have a PSP number, it typically looks like this: PA, followed by the 4-digit year, a dash, and a 6-digit sequence. Finally, you got to understand that a minor fender bender might be classified as a non-reportable crash. That means if there was no injury, no death, and no need for towing, it's non-reportable, which means no official police report was ever actually submitted to the state.
Okay, pay very, very close attention here, because this catches a ton of people off guard. If you had a reportable crash, meaning someone was hurt or a car had to be towed, and the police did not respond to the scene,
you are legally required to file Form A-600 with PennDOT yourself, and you have to do it within 5 days of the crash. If you fail to submit this written driver's report when required, you could face some really severe penalties, up to and literally including the suspension of your driver's license. So please don't slack on that.
Section 4. Using your accident report. Putting the document to work.
So why exactly are we jumping through all these bureaucratic hoops? Well, mainly because your insurance agent relies heavily on this unbiased account to process your payouts and determine who was at fault. Plus, if you're facing a personal injury lawsuit or a legal dispute, your attorney is going to use this as the foundational evidence to negotiate on your behalf. It effectively shuts down those frustrating he said, she said scenarios right out of the gate. And here's a practical piece of advice for you. Once you finally get your hands on this report, verify its accuracy immediately. Check it over. Then create a secure digital backup. Scan it or take some really clear photos on your phone and save it in a safe folder for your personal records, just in case the physical copy somehow gets lost.
Section 5. Key takeaways and tips. Your post-crash checklist.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground, so let's summarize things so you feel totally empowered moving forward. Keep these best practices in mind to save yourself some time, money, and unnecessary stress. First, identify the correct investigating agency immediately. Remember, PSP versus local. Second, always wait that mandatory 15 days before trying to get your document. Third, have about $15 to $25 ready for the administrative fees. Fourth, absolutely never mail cash to the state police. And finally, if you can't find your report anywhere, just double-check that your accident actually met the legal threshold of a reportable crash in the first place.
I do need to quickly mention that the information in this explainer is strictly for educational purposes and does not constitute legal or professional advice. Make sure you always consult a qualified legal professional or check official state resources for guidance that's tailored to your specific individual situation.
So, have you successfully requested your PA accident report yet? Your next step should be verifying your report's accuracy the exact second it arrives in your hands. And hey, please consider sharing this explainer with any friends or family who might be navigating the stressful aftermath of a collision right now. Empowering others with knowledge is hands down the best way to help them regain control of their situation. Who knew a single piece of paper held so much power over your peace of mind, right? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and please stay safe out there on the roads.